Hello people, welcome. Today, this week, is my birthday. It's my birthday. And we are celebrating with some Paris. Because I was supposed to be in Paris this week. Yes, I was. Celebrating the big 4-0. 40. Yes, people, I'm 40 years old. My next 40 years is going to be fantastic. Did everyone get that pun? That was a Tim McGraw pun if you are missing it. So, we are going to do some Paris stuff. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm going to probably teach you, but at the same time, I'm doing this for fun this week. And might not go slow. Of course, y'all are like, you don't go slow anyways, right? So, that is right. So, we're doing this Paris card today. And then on Thursday, we're going to have some sweet stuff because, you know, hopefully I get some cake tomorrow, right? And we get some sweet pastries from Paris. And that's kind of what this little fun project is going to be. So, this is this week or today. And here's what we're going to do. So, we're going to do this. I want you to know that you can use any kind of paint watercolor. This is a Crayola set. And it has everything that you need that we can work with. And you can also have all kinds of other different little sets. Today, I'm going to use my fancy dancy koi watercolors. Mainly because I just want to play and have some fun. So that's what this is. And so this comes in this little set. It has a little thing right there. It has all these beautiful colors. And it has this tray here for even more mixing if I want that. I'm going to set that over to the side. So that's what I'm going to be using today. I'll be honest with you. Today I'll probably be using 2 brushes. So I have my mop. This is a 1/4-inch mop and probably made out of squirrel hair. I'm not real sure about that, but that's what this is. And then I have probably a little baby brush. This is called a Simply Simmons round brush, and it's a 2.0 or a 2. It's one of my favorites. You can buy this Simply Simmons brand at Michael's for sure. And it works really good. Now, I will say, once you use it for watercolor, keep it watercolor. Don't put it as your acrylic one. Like, buy 2 of them if you really like little fine details. So, that's what we're going to do here. So, for those of you who are just joining us, it's my birthday week. Yes, tomorrow is my birthday. So, we are celebrating with Paris because I was supposed to be in Paris. And we're going over supplies. So, you need some watercolor paper. You don't have to have watercolor paper. You could have cardstock if you wanted. Whatever you do, let's make sure that it has a, that it's heavy, okay? Because with your water, you want it to be able to hold up really good. So, this is 140-pound paper. Notice that copy paper like this, just regular copy paper, is probably around 24 or 20-pound paper. So that's how much we're going to do. Thanks, Beverly. So we're going to use that. I also am going to use a spoon. Ooh, everyone's going, what is she going to do with a spoon? Yeah. And I'm going to have a ruler. Of course, my pencil with my handy dandy eraser, which is my kneaded eraser. I do love my kneaded eraser. It's my favorite. And another announcement is I do private art classes. They'll be on Zoom. They're about an hour and a half each. They're $25. Or you can buy 4 of them for $80 right now on my website. So just know that meganbaileygill.com. And it's under Zoom art class because it would be under Zoom. I also have a pineapple class coming up to celebrate summer. Or what hopefully is summer, right? It is on Thursday. It's next Thursday on the 21st at 5. and we'll be making pineapples. So look at all of that texture, man. It's so much fun. So that is also, it is not on my website. It's actually at bit.ly pineapple class. And that'll take you to it. It's $25 and it's a watercolor class. Okay. We ready to go to Paris? I wish I had French music on the background, right? Yeah, just think about it. I wish I could say that I actually, you know, could talk in French, but I can't. I tried to take lessons. With this accent, it doesn't work. Okay, so this is a piece of paper. It's a 9 by 12 piece of paper. And I decided instead of doing a card like this, I wanted to make a big card. I wanted to make this a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this. I know you all probably can't see all of it. Either one of you, Instagram or whatchamacallit. Just take my word for it. 1 to 12 is 6, right? So I'm going to put a little dot where my 6 is. And I'm going to put a little dot where my 6 is. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is use my handy dandy spoon. Of all the things, I thought it was safest to use a spoon. You know, a knife would be kind of dangerous. So what I'm doing is I'm holding it down with my left hand and I'm making a straight edge right here to here. I'm measuring, right? I'm pushing it down. I'm holding it down with my left hand. And then in the spoon area, so the sharp part of the spoon, which is not really sharp, but the rounded tip edge of the spoon right here. And I'm going to hold it with my right hand with my pointer finger on the edge where it curves, and I'm going to literally hold it down and score it. Score it means I'm adding an indentation on this piece of paper, and I'm going to do it a few times, and I'm pushing down as I do it. Okay? And I don't know if y'all can see that if I do that. You see that nice little indent right there? Okay. So now what we could do is we can literally fold this. Do you see how when I folded this, it automatically made this nice little fold right there? You see that? Okay, so now I'm going to take it like this, and I'm going to take my spoon edge, okay? So I'm taking my spoon, the spoon part, right? Like the actual round part. I'm going to start here in the middle, and I'm going to push it down. And I'm just going to push it down. And now I have a really nice crease all the way through. Right? How cool is that? Now, if you wanted to make sure that it was beautiful, you can do it the other way. So, you know, I put it inside out. And now I have a really nice fold. Now I have a larger card, right? So this is what I'm going to use today. It's nice and bigger. 1, so I can play a little bit. And 2, well, I just wanted it a little bit bigger. Now, this would not fit in a regular envelope, okay? So beware. If you're wanting to mail this, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so let's go to Paris. So I'm going to start with my normal tic-tac-toe board, okay? So I want you to come in here and I want you to draw a tic-tac-toe board. So what I do when I do that is I'm dividing my page into thirds. And I'm coming in here and I'm going to try to get it pretty close. It can be off a little bit. All right, so now what we're going to do is we need to frame this up a little bit. Okay, so frame it up, meaning if this is my card and I'm halving my card, let's look at it. 1/2 is the Eiffel Tower. The other half is a girl and a tree. All right, so that's something. Now, if I was going to do it also, like above here, if I did it this way, look at this. So this half only has the tip of the Eiffel Tower. And the middle has most of the stuff, right? And then the bottom. And it doesn't have much stuff either. So do you see how these two things don't have a lot of stuff? All right. So we need to now figure out, that means that this Eiffel Tower is only on half the page. That means it's tall and skinny, folks. Tall and skinny. So here's what I'm going to do. The Eiffel Tower is a really big A, right? We all know how to do A's. So one of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to start closer to this line here because I don't want it to be directly in the center of this. And I'm going to start by adding just that little spot up there. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to make a line right down here. Now this is how wide my Eiffel Tower is going to be, and it's going to be the bottom. So this is going to be the top, this is going to be the bottom. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lightly, well, one, I'm practicing. You'll see how I'm practicing. I'm taking my finger and I'm just going to go from this tip to down here, this tip to down here. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take it just like that. All right, you could do it several times if you wanted to. Now I'm going to do the same with this side. Now I'll be honest with you, when I go this way, it gets all wonky on me, right? So what I'm going to do is just come in, I'm going to practice. The reason I say that we practice is, one, it helps with muscle memory. Muscle memory is where your muscles actually figure out stuff for you. You see, I got a little wonky there, but I fixed it. I did short little baby strokes in order to get it, and that's why we do it that way. Okay, so I now have my A, right? Okay, now here's the thing with the Eiffel Tower is that most of the Eiffel Tower touches. Okay, so all of this is one big thing, and then there's this bottom half. And this bottom half actually probably, let's add that right there. And we're going to add a C, just like that. Looking like an Eiffel Tower. Okay, so then I'm going to come in here, and the Eiffel Tower has that first floor. And I'm going to just add two little lines here. Okay, and then I'm going to come down to this side, probably a little bit under this, not much. And I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to be smaller and a little bit skinnier than this one. They're close to the same though. And then here, I'm going to add a little diamond thing at the very top. And it's going to be small. Okay, and basically what I did there, if y'all want to look, I did one triangle and one diamond shape. Okay, so I've divided this up into 3 sections, but you notice, what did I say on this one? That most of this stuff happened right here in this middle section. So that's what this is. This might be even too tall, so I may make it down here. Yeah. This is why you always have an eraser and you draw lightly, because you can always change your mind. Now, I want you to know that if we were painting, I don't erase this much when I'm painting. Only watercolor do I get to erase. Okay, so now I've got to figure out the towers, right? All of that stuff. So one of the things that I do is I'm going to start here in the middle, come on down, and it gets wider down here. So I'm coming in and I'm connecting just like that. So there's one. And then I'm going to come over here to do this one. It's going to do the same. I start here. And it comes down. All right, not bad. Okay, so that's where I'm going to stop with this for the moment. Okay. I'm going to erase some of these lines so we can make sure we have what we want. So I'm going to erase that right there, erase that right there. This little spot right in here, let's erase. And add it back. Okay, now really and truly this part's not there. That's what's confusing me. That bottom part is all solid. All right, looking good, folks, looking good. All right, so this is my Eiffel Tower for the moment. I know it doesn't look like it, but we can fix it. Stay with me. This might be wrong. Maybe this needs to be down here. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Don't you love it when the teacher actually like just changes it on you and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, that's all right. Go with the flow, people. Go with the flow. That's funny. I would think people who know me knows that I am not good with going with the flow. I like a schedule, people. I am a schedule person. Love me schedules. I've been planning for forever. All right, so that looks a little bit better to me for my Eiffel Tower. We'll fix the rest of it with paint. Now I'm going to talk about my girl. Now, I know you might have some boys in there, but whatever, right? I'm a girl. It's my birthday. We're going to paint the Eiffel Tower in a pretty dress. So here we go. I am going to start with my head. All right, so I'm going to make it, I'm going a little circle here, and you saw I did that several times. Then I'm gonna make a neck. You gotta have a little baby neck in here. You could make it tall or long, it doesn't matter. And then I'm gonna make some shoulders. Notice that my shoulders go out from my head just a little bit, but not much. All right, we don't want to have totally broad shoulders here, folks. I know I do, but I would like to, like, this is my dream self, right? All right, so I'm going to come in here and do a little, so that's her waist, and that is her bust, right? Her chest area, which actually, I'm going to have her looking at the actual Eiffel Tower. Then I'm going to come here and I'm just going to make that line right there. And that's all I'm going to do for this dress. Not much, okay? Not much at all. Instagram, I hope you can see that. All right. Now, let's talk about the arms. We're not going to see much of the hands because she's holding something. Mine is holding, she could hold flowers, she could hold books, she could hold a bag. Mine is holding an artist's palette, right? Because she's going to go paint. So I'm going to draw that first. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw a little circle, all right? And I am only going to see her elbow. Right? Because it goes down. So I'm just going to go ahead and make an elbow here. You're not going to see the rest of her arm because it's holding this right here. So I'm just going to leave it just like that. Then this one I'm going to have come down and then come back up. Again, just an elbow. Do y'all see what I did right there? I did an elbow and then I made the arm. That's really important that this line goes all the way down because it's in front of this one. And then I'm going to get a paintbrush. I'm just going to draw that with a little paintbrush right there. All right, what's the back of her dress look like? What do y'all think? This time I'm going to make a V-shaped. Who knows if that'll stay that way. My other one started that way and it turned out not different. Okay, so I'm going to start erasing some lines. Now, is anybody else thinking, well, where are the trees? Where are the trees? I'm going to erase some of this down here because I'm in front of this Eiffel Tower, okay? So I'm going to make it a little bit less. So I'm going to get rid of these guidelines, even in her head. We don't want a line going to her head. I guess I could say me, right? Yes, I was supposed to go to the Louvre. And I was supposed to go, you know what I'm doing tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm going to the bottom of I'm going to the catacombs. They have a virtual tour. So I'm going to the catacombs. Should be neat. All right, let's talk about these abstract cherry blossoms, which FYI, they were supposed to be in bloom while I was there. But COVID has helped me out, right? So one of the things that I'm going to do here is I'm going to just come in with some lines just like that. So that was a tree for me. I'm doing just the branches. So I'm going to come in here. And this one, I don't really see all of it because it's over here somewhere. And I'm going to do that right there. Now, did y'all see that? Do you see I did not draw a tree? I want everyone to see that this is scribbles. I did not take a lot of time. I did not really focus on it. I basically just tried to make some branches because they're just guidelines for when we go to add our paint, okay? So that's all I'm going to do right now. I feel pretty good about this. She doesn't have hair because I'm going to make some hair with color. Okay, are we ready? I'm ready. Here we go. So I'm getting out my watercolors and I'm going to spray them. If you don't have spray, then basically what you got to do is you got to take some water and you got to put it on your brush and you got to put the water on your brush. I'm going to do it over here. Water on brush, water on paint. And then you've got to wipe it off on your paper towel. I don't have a paper towel today. I have a t-shirt, so I'm going to put it on my t-shirt. And you're going to wipe it off every single time you go to a different color because you don't want to mix them. No contamination. We are all about the contamination these days, right? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do first. I'm actually going to first do a little bit of, hi Carrie, background. Just a little. So I'm going to take some blue. And if you have a palette that's really, really dark and you know that it's really potent or whatever, what I like to do is I like to use this palette next door to it, right? Like my lid. So I'm going to take some blue and I'm going to put it down here. And what I'm going to do is if I want to make it lighter, I'm going to go get me some water. And I'm going to add me some water to it. And I'm going to make it lighter with water. You cannot, I repeat, add white to watercolor. It just doesn't work. So, I'm coming in here and I'm just going to do a little bit. Now, I don't have a lot of water on my brush. I don't have a lot of paint on my brush. Okay? I'm basically just trying to get some kind of background color in here. Because when we go to do these trees, we don't want to, literally paint in every little thing. So that is why we're just doing it lightly. So there's something there. Okay, now that's pretty good. I like that. Not going to do much. You want this light and airy, light and airy. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw this. I'm actually going to go in with some brown first, actually. I know you probably think that the Eiffel Tower is gray, and it might be. I don't know. I've never seen it, right? Never been there. Okay, so I'm going to come in, and I'm just going to paint in my lines. That's all. Notice how light it is. It's not very dark. It's just barely in there. Hopefully I'm staying away from that blue color. Notice that I'm leaving room right here for a little bit of the dress. So I've got that there, but I don't have a whole lot there. All right. And now I've done one layer. We do one layer completely and then we keep going, right? So I think I'm going to go skin next. So I've got a peach here. I'm going to get me some peach. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint that whole head there. And her back. She kind of looks cold to me. I don't know if that's going to end up there. And I'm going to keep on adding some skin right there. Now, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to do the dress. Now, this is where I get free and fun. All right? I might get quiet because I get so excited about this. So, I'm going to come in with my pink, whichever one I want. And I'm going to come in and just go whoosh, 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 whoosh. Did y'all hear that? Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Yeah, I know. All right. I am going to take some time, though, and make sure that this doesn't get into the skin. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add maybe a little bit more. Maybe come down here like that. Do y'all see how this down here is, I'm going to call it ratty, right? I did not draw a complete perfect line. I didn't want a perfect line here. I wanted some fun. Okay, you know those tulle dresses? They have all kinds of different things, so that's why I'm going to do that. Do you see how this is puddling and making it dark? I love that, so I'm leaving it the way it is. All right, so now I'm going to come in here and see, oh, is my blue dry? My blue is pretty close to being dry. So I am now, because I am going to do cherry blossoms, yes, I'm going to stay with my pink that I got going on here. And I'm going to come in, and on these lines that I drew, I'm going to do dab, 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 dab. Dab, 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 dab. Now, do you see I did go over right there where I had my, what do you call that? The Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I'm getting there. But I didn't do a whole lot under that. All right, so that is my dab, 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 dabs. All right, I'm going to do the same to this other side. Boy, this is a pretty pink. That is so pretty. And I'm just going to dab. This is the first layer, right? So you just kind of add some to it. You don't want to get carried away. It doesn't have to be directly on the line. It can be a little bit of everywhere. Okay, that looks good. I like it already. I'm going back. What's my second layer? What do you think? Do you think I add to this? I could, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go straight into this Eiffel Tower. So I'm going to go back into my brown, black, gray, weird color. And this time, I'm going to try to stay with just my lines. Now, I'm going really lightly, people. Really lightly. And I'm not doing too much of, I am going to go across in these two sections. I'm going to come in, I'm going to do that right there. Okay. Now, I will say this, the feet on this thing is normally goes out really big, so I'm going to add a little bit more right there. Okay. So, I like that. I'm going to let that rest. What do I mean when I say rest? Let it dry. How many people are paying attention? Okay, I now am going to go in and I'm going to add me some hair. Now, my hair is well, it's supposed to be blonde right now, but the roots are coming in. And I'll be honest with you, I might have some gray, but we're not going to paint that. because we're in, you know, Megan's Paris world right now, right? So I'm going to just come in here. And I've never had long hair, and I've never had it in a ponytail, and I've never had it in a messy bun. So I'm just going to do what I normally do, which is like a bob. That's my first layer of my hair. Okay? I'm not going to worry about anything else. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to worry about, let's do a little bit. I've got that same gray color that I've been working on, and I'm going to do just a tiny bit on this palette because, you know, we want to have paint on this. I'm going to do a little bit on this brush. Just like that. So at least I have some kind of color down there. All right, I'm going to come back and I'm going to have some fun with this dress. I am now going to go up one of my colors. So this is a pinky red color. I'm just going to see how it goes, and I'm going to come back. And do you see how I barely touch it and I just kind of play with it? Oh, that's pretty. I don't have too much water, and when I go in to this area here, I'm barely touching it. I'm letting the water do most of it. I'm trying to stay towards the edge. And I'm coming down. And now I'm just going to let that rest. Ooh, that's a pretty color. Okay. We're going to go back now to the cherry trees. So I'm going to come back to that pink, that first color. Not this pretty red color. I'm going to go back to the pink color. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my, well, I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. So I'm coming in here and I'm adding it to my palette. So it's this one. I'm adding it to my palette. And I got it out of, I cleaned it. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to take a little bit of red here. And I'm going to add to it. Now that made like blood red. So I'm going to take that off and I'm cleaning my brush. I'm going to add a lot of water. Now if this is too red, look at how I pull it. I'm pulling it this way. And you see the more I pull it this way, the lighter this section gets. And that's kind of what we're going for. We want light. All right, now it's going to move on me. That's okay. Now I've taken this color and I'm going to do the same thing that I did. All right, so here we go. We're going to just add a few dots in here. I have a lot of water on my brush. And I'm just going to add it in here. You don't want to get carried away. You just want to do a few. You see how I'm not even doing as much as I did before. I'm even doing less. All right. Coming in, adding just a little bit. Now the reason I added this red is because, of course, red and white make pink, right? Well, and those cherry trees do have a little bit of everything, right? Like, they're beautifully white. Sometimes they have a little bit of purple in them. Okay. But I gotta let that rest next. I'm gonna come back down to that right here. It's time for me to switch brushes. So, I'm moving to my baby brush. My Simply Simmons #2 round brush. It's really tiny, okay? And this time, I'm gonna come in closer to my black-brown color that I got going on. Oh boy, just flipped that everywhere. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and add little lines all up and down. All right, I'm going the same way everywhere. All right. I'm being real careful not to mess up where I've done that. I'm going to come in and I'm now going to go the opposite way. All the way around. Now, I got some pink in there. That is kind of funny looking. That's okay. We're not going for perfect, are we? We're going for fun. I was going for major educational purposes. I was going for an art trip, people. I was going to study. It was going to be so much fun. All right, so doesn't that start looking like, yes, it's starting to look like it. Now this part up here is a little off. So one of the things that I've learned is that if I straighten this up a little bit, so I'm just kind of adding more to it. Did you all see that? I fudged it just a tad. That's starting to look better, and this one might go off. Or I could sit here and just add that chinky thing right there on the top. That works. That works much better. Okay, now one of the things about the Eiffel Tower is that it's got 4 legs and we only have 2 right now. So what I like to do is I like to make this side in here darker, all right? So I'm going to come in here with my dark black and I'm just going to add, now you can't see it on that side, right? But you might be able to see it right there too, or on this side. All right, now I wouldn't see it all the way up. It gets fatter down here at the bottom. All right, that's making me feel better about this. All right, now I'm gonna come back to my girl. We're looking good here, people. You seeing it? You having fun yet? Maybe? I'm gonna go with my hair. I'm gonna add some more darker brown. That's a lot of dark. So this one I should have probably added more water to my brush. So I'm adding more water to my brush now, and you see how that takes care of that. Now if that's too much, I can get a dry brush and I can borrow. So you see how I'm borrowing some? Basically I'm taking the color away with a dry brush. You can do that every little bit. It depends on how good your paper is. Sometimes your paper just does not like that at all. All right, I'm going to come back to this pretty maroon color. I liked what was happening with this. So I have my paintbrush and my small. I'm going to come right in here, and I'm not going to paint the whole thing. I'm kind of doing just the sides. That's it. All right, now I'm going to come in with this. And I'm going to just have some fun doing some whiskey things. Now, I might add a little bit of blue. Oh, no, purple. That's a good, I like that. That's pretty. Okay, and I'm only going to add that purple to one side, because it's my darker side. You can add a little bit of that purple on this side, but, and do you see how, I'm going to call this hairy. It's hairy. There's a lot of texture down here. You see a light, medium, dark, and it all different lengths and all that stuff. This makes it more of a fun dress, okay? Now, this area here is kind of not got a lot of stuff in it. So what I could do is come in with and just add a little bit to it. I could even add a little bit of green down there. All right, I like that. That's better. Okay, I'm going to go back to my small brush and go into these areas on my tree. I need to add some brown sticks to this. So I'm going to come in with a dark brown, and where I had my marks, because I can still see them, I'm not going to like make them perfect. And do you see how far out I'm holding my brush? And I'm barely coming in and just kind of putting some sticks in here. And you see how that's adding some texture. Cherry blossoms are they have little small sticks and all kinds of little things like that. And I'm going to come in, and you don't have to make them all so dark and some of them light. That's kind of the fun thing about this. You don't have to make them all strong. Some of them can be long, light, and dark, and thick, and some of them can be a little darker like that one. And you just play around with it. You see that? Now, do you see how this one right here is fun? Where I squiggled. Y'all see that squiggle? So my squiggle, I'm going to add a few. So I got some water right there happening. It's not doing what I want. Okay. Now, that's looking pretty good. I like it. All right, one thing I think I'm going to do is now I'm going to go back to my palette. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to get me some blue. Just a little dot. Add that. Clean my brush. Now I'm going to get me some red. Okay, clean that. Get me some yellow. I'm definitely going to get the primary colors. You see that? All right. I like that. And I'm going to stay there. I could probably, maybe I'll go here. I'll go with a green there. All right. Now, what color paint is on my brush? I'm going to do blue. Blue right there. Nice. Now, how about you all wanting, I think I want this a little bit more blue. What do you think? Okay, so what I'm going to do with my blue is I have to be very, very careful that I don't touch anything that's already wet. So I'm going to come in with my blue. All right. I've got a lot of water on my brush, and I'm coming in. And I don't want to touch anything. Now, you see I'm being very messy about it though, right? Well, I'm being messy about it because you know when the sky is, sometimes there's light and dark stuff in sky and sometimes there's not. So that's kind of why I'm doing it that way. There. And I can add a little bit more blue into these cherry blossoms. And yeah, they may make purple, but that's okay. Oh, I like it. Okay, so I am basically almost done painting. If I did anything, I think I would come in with some gray. And I'd come in and kind of make this more gray. I do think I'm going to come in with a small brush, go with my black, and come in and outline a little bit. Now, you know I normally do this outlining, right, with my pen. But the thing about the Eiffel Tower is that it has all of these lines in it that can be all kinds of things. So that's why I'm doing it with this, because when it actually dries, it's going to give it a little bit more of a texture. You know, another thing that the Eiffel Tower, the lines go straight across too. Oh, the patterns of these things is so pretty. They outdid themselves when they made it. It's a geometric fascination. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying. Don't you love it when I ramble? Okay, I like it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this really quick with my hairdryer. You know, one of the things that I like to do the most is to add white, like acrylic white, to the actual picture, and I can't do that really with this, but that's why I like to add black so much. So this right here that I'm using is called a Heat It tool by Ranger, and you can buy it at Home Depot, Walmart. Nope, not there either. Where can you buy it? Michael's. I think Hobby Lobby's had it too. I think I bought this one off of Amazon though. I don't even know if they make them that way anymore. Martha Stewart has one too, but it almost gets too hot. Okay, so I've got my pretty pen here, my wonderful pen. It's a Uniball Signo Bold 207 Bold, and it's my favorite pen. And one of the things that I'm going to start with is and I make little short sketchy lines when I make this. I also am going to be very careful. So see that right down there? That's like, we know that it goes, what is the word for it? Thicker down there. So I'm kind of adding to it with my lines. Coming in and I'm adding straight lines. I'm adding, what do you call these lines? Horizontal and whatchamacallit lines. Angled. And I'm going to keep on doing that. Do you see how I've added just more texture as I go, right? And the more texture I add, the more this is looking a little bit like the Eiffel Tower. All right, and do you see that when we added the horizontal lines, that's when it really started kind of coming together? I don't know why. I think it's just works that way. All right, so there's my Eiffel, and now I'm going to come in and I'm going to add just a little bit. Now, I'll tell you this. I know a lot of people are scared of this, of my pen work, and you don't want to ruin it and that kind of thing. All I can say is the messier you are, the more likely it won't look like you messed up. Okay? You can overdo this, but the problem with it comes with practice. So if you don't do it, you won't be able to get good at this. Right? So you got to just practice. And you know, another thing that I learned how to do this basically. I was on the phone. I would be on conference calls and I'd be bored. So I'd just start sketching with my black pen. You know, I was probably supposed to be taking notes, but I wasn't. Okay, I like it. I'm thinking this is done. I signed it. I always sign it next to an object, not down here at the corner, mainly because if I go to scan this in or something and I go to crop it, I want my signature in there, and the crop normally happens down here at the thing, so that's why I always pick that spot. And add. All right. Okay, guys, tomorrow is my birthday. I will not be on, but I will see you on Thursday. And for my Thursday, people, we are going to do Sweet Shop. Yes, we are. So be prepared for macaroons and cake and cupcakes and whatever you want to have in here. And so hopefully a girl that goes shopping, because that's what I wanted to do. All right. Have a great rest of the day. Does anybody have any questions before we get off? I'll say this one more time. I have private lessons that you can take 1 hour, 1.5 hours for $25, and 4 for $80 if you want that. And it's a Zoom class, so it can be done anywhere. And then I have a pineapple class coming up on May 21st, which is a Thursday night class. And it's from 5 to 6:30, maybe 7. It just depends. But I will be doing this pineapple. Thank you for the birthday wishes, and I will talk to you all later. Bye, guys.